Hi, I'm Steve Withers, and I'm a professional reviewer and calibrator, and I'm fully qualified and certified by the ISF and by THX. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Sony KD55 XE8596 4K TV. This TV uses a 55-inch LCD TV, and it uses LED backlighting, which is actually positioned along the bottom of the screen itself. It doesn't have any local dimming, but this is a relatively entry-level model. You can buy it for just under £1,000, which is a cracking price for a 55-inch 4K TV that also supports high dynamic range. The TV itself uses a very similar design to most of Sony's TVs this year. It's quite minimalist in its appearance, has a black border around the screen, a black bezel with a nice little silver trim around the outer edge, and it sits on an angled silver stand. The construction isn't as solid as some of Sony's more expensive televisions. It's a largely plastic construction, however it is relatively well made and very good for the price point. Looking at the front of the TV, you get this nice minimalist appearance, very clean lines, and then when you look at the rear of the television, it has a black plastic rear, and again there are some 300 by 300 VESA mounts if you want to wall mount the TV rather than using the provided stand. In terms of the connections, these are at the rear left as you face the screen, and here you'll find a number of useful connections, including 4 HDMI inputs. However, I should stress that as with all of Sony's TVs, only 2 of these inputs are 4K 60p as fully spec'd HDMI inputs. The other 2 are 4K 30p. There's also 3 USB ports, there's a number of legacy connections, as well as twin tuners, a LAN port, and of course, built-in Wi-Fi. The TV uses the Android Smart TV platform, and this platform is a quite effective platform and relatively easy to navigate. You basically scroll down through a number of tiles and then scroll across through them to select the one that you want, and all the features you'd expect are there, including Netflix and Amazon and YouTube and all the UK catch-up services, as well as YouView. In terms of controlling this TV, well, you use a Sony remote control. This is actually, I prefer this remote control to the one that comes with the more expensive models, because that one's got a very low profile front to it and you can't always feel the buttons, whereas this one's got a nice simple construction, hard plastic, raised buttons, very easy to use, comfortable to hold, easy to use with one hand. They've got the central navigation here. Actually, it's quite well laid out and designed remote control, and I really like it. So I actually prefer this remote control to the one that comes with the more expensive models. If you're a gamer, in terms of the input lag, this TV can deliver 28 milliseconds. So that's more than low enough for a hardened gamer to really get a nice low input lag, a nice responsive gaming experience. So whether you're gaming in 4K or 2K or HDR or SDR, still around 28 milliseconds, which is among the lowest that we've measured this year. Not the lowest, but certainly a very good input lag. We measured the TV using our usual calibration equipment, which includes the Klein K10A color meter, as well as the Meridio Fresco 6G pattern generator and the Calman calibration software. And out of the box, it was reasonably accurate, although there was an excess of blue in the grayscale. However, the gamma was tracking quite accurately at our target of 2.4. So when we looked at the calibration controls, this TV, as with all of Sony's TVs, has a 2-point and a 10-point white balance control, and actually just using the 2-point got us a very accurate grayscale. We could then fine tune it with a 10-point, but basically with those 2 controls we got a nice even grayscale, nice transition from black to white, and again a nice gamma at 2.4. So that was easy to do. Moving on to the color performance, out of the box, of course, the excess of blue in the grayscale was skewing the colors and white as well towards blue. But once we calibrated the grayscale, the colors fell into place very nicely, and this is just as well because, as with all of Sony's TVs, there is no color management system. However, once we calibrated the grayscale, as you can see on the graph, the tracking is excellent, and it was a very accurate color performance, so excellent there. In terms of high dynamic range, HDR performance, well, again, out of the box, actually very good in this case, because as you can see, the grayscale is tracking very well, and the TV itself tracks the PQEOTF quite closely. Now, in terms of its peak brightness, this is not the brightest TV. Basically, it delivers about 400 nits in an accurate calibrated mode, and that's a long way off some of the more brighter models. However, the benefits of this are that because it's not that bright, It means you don't get any real nasty haloing on the image and the blacks appear better, but it isn't the brightest HDR panel we've seen. Also hasn't got the widest color gamut either. Rep 2020 performance is 69%. You can do about 96% of DCI P3. However, as you can see, the color tracking against DCI P3 is actually quite good. So a bit of a mixed bag, but it's certainly not the widest color gamut, but it is a relatively accurate color gamut. And again, not the brightest performance, but again, a relatively accurate performance in terms of grayscale and gamma tracking. So overall, a very good SDR and HDR performance in terms of our testing. And how did it actually perform with content? Well, actually, this was a really good TV. I was very impressed with its performance. The backlight, although the LEDs are on the bottom, the backlight performance was actually very good. A nice even backlight, no dirty screen effect, no obvious banding or clouding. So I think Sony's done a great job at delivering an even backlight, even though there's no actual local dimming system to use. As I said at the beginning, there's a VA panel, so it's actually got quite good native blacks. And the motion handling was great. As I said, the color accuracy, particularly after calibration, was excellent, along with the grayscale and the gamma. So it delivered some really, really great SDR images. And I think that for the money, it's a cracking performer. In terms of HDR, well, it's not that bright, but it still delivers quite a watchable HDR experience because, because it isn't that bright, there isn't the problems with haloing or bright edges or bright corners that some TVs have. So in actual fact, it delivered quite an enjoyable HDR performance with good color tracking and a decent PQ EOTF tracking as well, and good tone mapping. So it delivered 1,000 and 4,000 nits content. So overall, I'd actually say that this TV is an absolutely cracking buy, particularly for just under £1,000. 55-inch screen size, SDR and HDR performance. You've also got HLG support in there as well, hybrid log gamma. You've got the Android TV smart platform. You've got an attractive appearance, nicely made, good feature set, great remote control. Overall, a cracking television, and I am more than happy to award this TV an AV Forum's Best Buy badge. If you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. And don't forget, you can find more news, reviews, and articles and videos like this at avforums.com, Europe's largest home entertainment community. Thanks for watching.